What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. I'm Matt. Today we are taking out this Harley Davidson Road Glide from Riders in Bridgewater. Now, what do you think? Adventure with bags or cruiser with bags? Let's find out. Should you buy the Road Glide for 2023? Well, here we go then. Look at the size of this cockpit area. Let's start off with ergonomics first. I'm 6'1" and I'm super comfortable. This is kind of a really natural kind of sitting position. This obviously does have your typical Harley kind of forward mounted pegs, but we have got the boards on this. I really like the boards over just your standard pegs, because when you are going around corners you've got no chance of your foot getting caught and kind of getting pulled off, which I do have an issue with on the other cruisers. Apologies for the rain. Hopefully it'll settle down a little bit. No one likes taking out a 28 grand bike in the wet, so we are going to take it a little bit easy. Handlebars, they're quite low, but where they're drawn back to you, they're kind of, it's in a natural position, which the normal Harleys on the cruisers are kind of like quite far out, quite like stretched, probably more kind of middle of the arm height. This is definitely kind of elbow height if you were to sit in a chair. The front fairing nose cone area is fixed onto the frame, so what that means is when you see me start doing some slow speed maneuvering, is the handlebars and the traditional dials, they move, but the rest of it stays still. The reason they've done that is to minimize the amount of weight on the front end when you are starting to maneuver. This front segment means you get quite a bit of natural wind protection, especially left and right as well, so you're not getting a lot of wind on the arms. Height wise, kind of right on the tip of the helmet is where I'd say the wind is starting to hit. You may have seen me a second ago push this little black button on the left hand side. What that does is the fairing's fixed, the windscreen's fixed, but in this little cubby hole there's another little bit of kind of opening. That button will open or close a flap inside, just to let a little bit more wind flow through or kind of minimize it. Bottom left and right of the front fixed fairing is you have got these extra kind of little flappy bits, which is just being used to divert the wind away from you just that little bit more. So like I'm saying, it's a very kind of relaxed, calm bubble around me whilst I'm riding. Let's look at the engine in this Road Glide then. This is Harley Davidson's Milwaukee 8117 engine. This thing has 1923 cc. That's right, just short of a 2 litre in this bad boy. Producing 103 brake horsepower, but what's more important is the torque. It's impressive, 168 newton meters of torque. What does that mean? Well, this isn't going to be the quickest bike, but this is going to be so powerful. It's going to be torquing pretty much every gear from low down the rev range just as you pull through, and you can definitely feel it whilst you're riding along, giving a little twist of that throttle. Be nice if this rain could do one. The gear changes are actually really smooth for a bike of this size. There's a little bit of clunk, but that's a good clunk. It's not like a bad clunk, but it lets you know it's gone into gear and gone down the gear. Looking at some of the electronics then, as you can see at the top, we have got a large 6.5 inch full colour TFT screen, and yes, it does have map navigation on it. Once again, caught in the rain in a mesh jacket. This bike, I mean, you can probably tell already by looking at the fairing of this, it's got Harley Davidson's Boombox GTS, I believe. I don't know what GTS stands for. This thing has got 4 speakers, I believe, for 2023. So you can play your radio, but you can also connect your phone or USB and play whatever music you want. I'll give you a little demonstration later on. Obviously, because of YouTube, I've got to play certain music that I've paid the rights for. Just quickly, obviously I'm back at Riders now. I've pulled over just to kind of show you the speakers again, because I'm not sure if the audio was picking up properly. So I'm connected to my phone via the Bluetooth, press play, and then on the left hand side a little thumb button is what you're going to adjust with the volume width.
Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like, hey.
That's full volume.
I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all don't talk about demon. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me and I.
So that gives you an idea of how loud they can go. You can go in, you can adjust the bass and everything on them as well. So especially around town when you slow speed, you can just have a little bit of music playing. Motorway, I'm not too sure how it would sound because there would be quite a bit of obviously outside wind noise as well. So hey, there you go. Left of the screen we have got our fuel gauge. Right of the screen is our battery voltage, and then below it we have got our kind of traditional speedometer rev counter. I'm really enjoying this engine. Like I said, the torque is what makes any bike fun in my eyes. Brake horsepower is go quick, torque is where the fun is. And this thing just twists to the wrist and it just picks up. You're going to get 3 different colour options for this bike, and we have got your black, cream or blue. More importantly though is the price of this bike. This thing is going to set you back just shy of £28,000. It's a lot of money, but let's think about it. We've got sat nav, we've got a big screen, we've got speakers, we've got saddlebags, we've got a nice protection bubble, we've got a great engine, and we've got some torque behind it. This to me is like you kind of your end goal Harley. You have your cruisers, you have your fat bobs when you're younger and you want to look cool, and then when you get a little bit older you want something a little bit more comfortable, you want something to take your shopping or your bags in. This is where you end up. Either the street glide or the road glide. This bike is not light, coming in at 387 kilos. With me on it, we're pushing half a ton. We have got a big 22.7 litre fuel tank between our legs, so it's going to add a little bit towards that weight, but still 380 odd kilos. But what's funny is this thing handles so well when you think this is half a ton just moving around, and it flicks really nice. Anyone that thinks these bikes handle like pigs, you need to get yourself on one. You don't know what you're missing. Just look at it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Add in that torque. I'm really enjoying myself. Great engine, handles lovely, it's comfortable. It's got a sat nav, which I always moan about. I'd always said after my Fat Bob stint that I would love to go back to a Harley at some point as a second bike. I'm going to put it out there, I'd probably get something like this. I think this would kind of tick all my boxes for that second Harley stint. If any of you guys have not seen my Fat Bob review, down this road is where my 360 decided it didn't want to stay on the bike. I heard it dragging behind me, so now I have a 180 instead of a 360. Completely removed one of the lenses, but I shall not let that deter me coming down this road. And I'll just show you how easy this thing handles on some twisties. Well, 20 miles an hour. Get this open, sorry for the audio change. 20 miles an hour is easy. The fueling on this is spot on. Like, you come on and off the throttle and there's barely any body movement, there's no jerkiness, it's just smooth and easy, and it's easy to keep it at 20 as well. Like, any potholes or kids coming out of school, I mean obviously I'd be like, bam, hit them. No, joking, wouldn't. But you can just float around it. You can just, oh, pothole, there we go. Oh, there's a stone there. Yep, there we go. Easy. Up to 30. And you're there in no time, and then you can just chill at 30. This is what I mean by the fixed fairing. So the handlebar moves, but the fairing doesn't. Something to get used to. Although small, down on the left hand speedometer we do have gear indicator as well. Nice little touch. This thing, like I said, it's just got so much torque that you can be in a lower gear and it will just pull, or you can be in a higher gear and it will just pull. This is the corner my 360 died at. Rest in peace. I'll let that car get ahead a little bit. You can tell why they called this a road glide, because it just glides around. Look at this. Oh yes. Oh, I love being stuck behind people. Plenty of grunt for the overtakes. Now we're going to enjoy this road a little bit. The brakes on this are really nice and kind of progressive. They're not sharp, they don't bite down. You can just ease into the brakes. Love the sound of that engine. The exhaust note really opens up and just livens up a little bit when you start getting on it. This bike has got your proper traditional Harley feels about it. When you stop to traffic lights and it's just kind of like bobbing away. This is what I mean about the Harley feel at traffic lights. Look at the handlebars wobble. Love it. Starting at the front, in the lights. In the centre of both of them, you've got Harley-Davidson's little symbol. You can see the airflow gaps, one either side of the headlights. But also up there, that is the gap that can be closed with a button on the front fairing. I'll show you when we get around there. Coming down to the wheels, we've got this gorgeous kind of dark bronze colour. Goes really nicely with the rest of the colour detail, i.e. the 117 and the Harley-Davidson, that's also in the bronze. Apart from that, this bike is mostly blacked out. We do have the crash bars on the side, just in case you do drop it. Always a possibility. These are the footboards. I really like them over just your traditional kind of pegs. I would definitely buy these if I was to buy a Harley without them. We've got a massive snorkel on the side. Plenty of airflow through that bad boy. Black, low slung, twin exhaust pipe. Like I said, when you do start getting on the throttle, you can definitely hear the engine coming through. Sounds beautiful. Look at the bags then, easy to get into. Got this little flappy panel on the right hand side, or on the inside, and that is it. Easy to get into, plenty of storage. All the camera gear I need can get put into them. Just lock it away. That is it, simple. Coming into the main area on this bike then, like I said, button on there. Push that, and that's all it does, is open and close the little flap, so you get a little bit of more airflow through or less. Turn the bike on, you're just going to turn this here. It is touchscreen as well. To adjust any of the settings on there, i.e. the station or the radio, on the left hand side here, we've got this little knobby bit. Turn that down before YouTube ban the video. That will be the kind of the volumes, and then also on the right hand side we have got the same button here, which can then be used to kind of navigate around. Or you can just push the buttons.
The route is being calculated.
And it's as easy as that. Some other little cubby holes that you'll find. So you've got a charging port down here. This here lifts up, plenty of space for your phone. On the right hand side it's got exactly the same, but there is also a USB charging point. That will also be used to connect anything USB to the infotainment. We do have a seat height of 715mm. For once, I actually find it really comfortable, even though it has got this lipped part, just like my Fat Bob. I think the front segment is bigger, which means I'm not leaning on this. So I actually find it really, really comfortable. Just in front of the seat, we do have a heat shield, just to stop any heat getting onto your legs from the top of the engine there. So far, all the Harleys I've ridden have been kind of the Fat Bobs, the breakouts, your kind of traditional cruiser style Harleys. It's my first proper time on the bagger style, kind of the touring one. And like I've said multiple times throughout this video, I'm loving it, really enjoying it. It has stopped raining at last, so I'm going to get back on the road and finish off this review. So remember, 715mm seat height, I'm 6'1", and the seat is quite wide. It does kind of force your hips out and your knees outwards, but I've got both feet flat on the floor and a fairly strong bend in the knees as well. When you're trying to push this thing around a car park, or when it's turned off, no doubt, 100% you feel the weight. It's really awkward and difficult to kind of maneuver and manhandle. But when you are slow speed maneuvering, like the turning circle is actually really good. And then you got the slow speed maneuvering style. As soon as that weight's kind of moving, like it's nowhere near as hard to move around. Super easy to get around a car park. What I do like with that top screen is you can have it on your maps, you can have it on your radio, or if you just want your bike information displayed, you can just have it that. So you don't have to have, or you don't have to use your analog display. We do have cruise control, which is something on this style bike that it should be there, and it is, and it works really nicely, easy to use, all activated on the left hand side. And then to cancel off, you just use the brakes or roll the throttle forwards. I'm telling you, anyone who thinks this bike is beyond them, you need to go and test ride it. Torquey and comfortable. It's a good combo. I love people who don't know how to drive their own cars. If you're not comfortable driving a big car, don't get a big one. For a bike of its size and its engine size, very little vibration, seeming, as you've seen how much vibrations come through the handlebars when you are stationary. When you're riding, there's next to nothing through the handlebars, and I'm only getting a small amount of vibrations through the footboards. But I am in a lower gear at the minute, having a bit of fun on these back roads. But if you get them into 5th, 6th gear, get on the motorway, no issues. I asked the question at the start of this video, should you buy the Road Glide? My answer, 100% yes. I'm enjoying this bike. I would definitely buy this bike. There's next to nothing that I don't like about it, which for me is surprising. Just as a complete package, I think it's just spot on. So Harley Davidson, all well done. There's nothing else to say. Yeah, buy one, go do it. Guys, I'm going to finish it there. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of the morning on this bike. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you like the video. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. We have got reviews coming out weekly. If you are interested in watching my Harley Davidson Fat Bob review, check out this video here, or if you want to see my breakout video, check out this video here. And until the next one, ride safe.